Hello everybody and welcome back. We are continuing our journey on Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. We left off last time after having finished the tutorial part of the game, basically haven't learned some of the game basics, etc, etc, and we have now become the Rogue Trader. And so, we're going to go ahead and continue and get this bad boy underway, and hopefully this time I'll start recording as opposed to turn off the stream. Let's try this. See how it goes. We're recording. All right. I didn't turn the stream off this time. So yes, we have, as I said, just on the tutorial, and we have walked into a myriad of problems. We're missing some key personnel. We are down on a lot of crew members because of those damn heretics. And we also have quite a lot of damage to the ship, again, because of those damn heretics. And so, yeah, here we are. We have just gone and gained a level. Now, unfortunately, during the week that's been, I did not get a good chance to actually have a look at this, which is what I was going to do. I was going to jump on and seriously see what was going on. But I have had a mild thought. Sorry, I was slightly jumping there on my own screen. I have had a mild thought, and that is that I'm going to make myself more of like a run and kill kind of a guy, and I'm going to make the other guy, I can't remember what he is, more of a tank style guy. So hopefully he'll take all the damage and I'll run around just killing everything. His enemy's not armed with a melee weapon. Okay, maybe. Whenever an enemy attacks the warrior's next melee attack against... Oh, wait, so hang on. He restores all AP and MP games. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all damage is reduced. Yeah, that's still a good one to have. Athletics, okay. So I'm not going to bother with thick skin. If the warrior has less than 50% wounds, they gain +5, plus toughness bonus, plus agility bonus, percentage, critical... Some of this stuff gets really convoluted. Let's... Area attacks deal an additional +1 strength bonus divided by 2 damage for each enemy in the area of effect. For each enemy in the area of effect. So potentially, I don't know, a lot. I'm gonna go for that. Let's go for crowd kill. Next. And how physically strong characters affects damage a character inflicts with melee weapons. That's what we want. Let's go and grab some of that. It also affects the athletic skill. Complete. Okay, done. Our commissar is nothing but glorious. Why do I have a -5 on this? Grim Portents. Oh, that's not good. Oh, more to the point. If I can actually go in here and do everyone at the same time, even though they're not with me, which is fantastic. Okay, so choose characteristics. I'm going to go for ballistic skill. And what else do we have? For each adjacent ally. Cover efficiency is increased by +10% for full. Oh, that's not bad. 1% until the end of combat. Oh, that's fine. That's pretty good. Rack and Ruin. After soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies, the soldier gains 10 + 2 times BS bonus percentage more damage for their next attack in the current combat. Okay, so the 4th damage they do every time is increased. Reloading cost -2 AP. Soldier gains critical chance. Right, cover at the moment of attack. 3+ agility bonus percentage. Sure, I'll go for that. And it's doubled for people that I'm in cover from. We're going to go intelligence, I feel. Reason and knowledge. For each bonus point of intelligent character, deal 5% more damage with non-burst range area of attacks. Also affects law. Yeah, I really can't remember what she's any good at. Unnatural luck. When the psychic uses a divination psychic power on an ally without an unnatural luck effect, the ally gains a natural luck. When the ally suffers a critical hit, it becomes a normal hit. Okay, predicted downfall. Enemy in combat suffers... Okay. Every 9th successful dodge and or parry by the Psyker and their allies combined grants the Psyker +2 additional AP on the next turn. Allies under the effect of at least one of the Psyker's powers gain additional armor penetration. Combat the Psyker's allies gain plus 50% critical hit chance. The first critical hit removes this effect. Oh, done. Edge of Fate, definitely. And so this guy, I want to make the tank. He did go and get Contempt. Whenever an enemy attacks the warrior's next melee attack against the enemy does an additional 5 damage. Epicenter. Whenever the warrior is attacked, they gain +1 stack of Epicenter of Slaughter until the end of combat. At the start of their turn, the warrior gains +1 temporary wound for each stack. These temporary wounds cannot exceed 5. Ah, okay. So I can get basically 5 health every turn? Maybe what's thick skin? Gains +1 damage deflection. Their parry chance is increased by 25% of the warrior's total armor. Sure. And I'm thinking we go for toughness because of what we're going for him for. There's toxins, poison, environments, diseases, and other physical ailments. Yep, let's make him a beast. Okay, and then let's continue with what we're doing. Box matcher. A thin pale woman stands out. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. Okay. Fellowship test succeeded. The Voxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain. I gained 44 experience, and morale has been increased. And hear your voice roll through the ship. Reaching even the normal quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. You are Voidborn, are you not? Generation after generation of people who spent their entire lives in the depths of this void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home, but the same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We are used to the silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, traditions, and quirks frighten these people just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many people believe us to be the bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for the terrible warp phenomenon during longer voyages. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Idra Tlass not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrels' fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. Alright. That'll be all for now. I live to serve the Lord Captain. Good to know. Let's actually go to our journal so I can figure out what I'm even doing. Yeah, a little bit. Is the stream running okay, by the way? I feel like my camera's jumping a little bit. And I don't know if that's translating to the rest of the stream because the stream's not moving too much. Yeah, we're doing, it's a bit of a Warhammer marathon, really. 2 of the games I'm choosing to stream are Warhammer. This one's the strategy side of it, the other one's the action side of it, and yeah, it's just gonna end up going and going and going, and you know, it's not entirely my fault. It's just there's a lot of heretics to kill. I can't help it. Yeah, okay, I'm definitely jumping on my screen. Okay, but I seem to be running around in a circle pretty unhindered. It is? Why is it stuttering? This is Space Marine 2, this is. I haven't had any problems until I started streaming Space Marine 2. And now everything's gone a bit wibble and downwards. Interesting. Yeah, I noticed my webcam's a bit wonky. But however bad it sounds, if that's the only case, I'm not too fussed because I can just turn that off. It's the rest of the game that I care about, because that's what you guys are here to see. I'm sure my face is lovely and wonderful, but let's be honest, you guys are here to see the game, so... what I might actually do is... apologies, yes, the sound has gone and turned itself off. Let's even go and deactivate my camera. Come back to the game and... okay. Alright, well then let's continue. Let's see what we can actually get done. Like I said, let's go to our journal, because we have a lot of stuff to get done, and I can't remember what any of it is. The matter of the utmost importance led the interrogator of the Inquisition, Henrix van Kallox, to the Rykad system. The rogue trader's duty as a loyal servant of the Imperium is to find the interrogator and aid him in his mission. Present planetoid in the Riker system may have caught the interrogator's attention. Of course, yes. Or it could be the Navis Nobilate, or it could be on the planet. So he's our overall mission, but our smaller ones, we have to speak to the Battle Sister. We have to find fresh blood from Rykad Minoris, a new Engiseer who may be found somewhere in the system, and the guy, the Navis Nobilate. I feel the Machine Spirit Keeper wanted us to go to that prison. Right, well, hopefully it all keeps going well. Abelard, got anything you want to share?
Lord Captain.
Surveys you briskly but meticulously, as though he is inspecting you for shortcomings. He offers you a courteous nod. Let's talk about things that may be useful to me.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Outline the situation in the Coronis Expanse.
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And, if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
Okay.
Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier. In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Kalagos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis expanse.
By that, bruh, do you mean that if, say, for instance, if I went to the prison ship first, going to the planet would be different afterwards? Or do you mean as in once I've done this set of quests, those in part 1, the choices I make will affect part 2? Well, don't tell me spoilers like that, bro. I appreciate the update, but I don't want to know if there's a son's life on the line. I don't need that kind of responsibility right now.
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see how that goes, because obviously I don't know if it was definitely due to that. I don't know if you do, but it could have been due to something else. We'll see what happens.
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Valancius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only...
That is all for now.
As you wish, Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Now... High Factorum, no. Janus Rock, where is the battle sister? Because... Do I have a map? Yes, I do. She is... Oh, she's actually all the way behind the throne. Not coming back. He is down here somewhere. He wanted a quick chat.
Rogue trader.
Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's a little on edge. You said you have a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader.
The accursed servants of Chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valancius territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the rogue trader could meet with the orphans. I'm gonna ask the question first. These children are the future of your crew, and one day they will too have to stand against evil and heresy their parents did. By meeting them, by speaking the right words to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to heroes in the making. They will always remember the day they met the rogue trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphan's spirit, help them recover from their loss. It can be hard for someone so young. I am gonna keep things professional, and they can have a speech. I appreciate it, bro, but please, not even slight ideas as to what are plot points worth mentioning, please. I really don't want any form of spoilers. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. So please, anything, even a slight inkling, please keep it to yourself. A group of adolescents, clearly dressed in their finest, freshly pressed clothes, forms a straight line before you. Some stare at you with wide eyes like you're some mythical creature, while others huddle together in fear and look away. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Alabard glances at the gathered children. There's hardly the scholar progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instructions. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones! The master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House von Valentius. Error, speaker, you notice Infernus Master Imric Montag standing a few paces away from the orphans. He watches you with approval and bows respectively when you meet his gaze. Why have I suddenly gone into nowhere? Grandly address the group, smile at the group. Give them treats and escort them to their homes. I believe a minute of beholding the Lord Captain. I, the rogue trader, the Lord Captain of this ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for just cause and brought honor to the von Valentius banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them, and I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. Definitely. Oh, we've come back. The teenagers hang on your every word with bated breath. Only a few at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed by your speech. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, "So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you noble lot, and you just give us speeches." Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impudence. Their comportment leaves much to be desired. I hope that they will be molded into worthy servants of House von Valentius. This audience is over. If you have things to say, say them without fear. I will listen. It doesn't matter what we say, it won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on this ship until we drop and die like our folks, or worse. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through, but they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. When the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. I took command, I fought, and I repelled the assault as quickly as I could. But no war can be won without losses. You can only strive to do what is within your power. The strong have power to decide the fate of others. The weak either obey or die. If you seek a different lot in life, boy, save your grumbling and look for an opportunity to rise above the rest. I'm going to go for number 3. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. Then he catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with von Valentius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears that the Seneschal came prepared for any contingency. Ah, they all get snacks. The boy ain't wrong, but... Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. The boy is not wrong, but hey, such is the life of man in the Imperium. I mean, it could be worse. I could, you know, like, force him into serving in my own version of the Astra Militarum. Because, you know, those guys have a very short lifespan. Done. And so with that, we have looking for trouble. That's been done. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And let's why not, let's come down here and speak to Idira very quickly, and then we'll go and do a quest, and I'll speak to more of them again afterwards. Rubs the implant at a temple. Her collar is undone, and one of the clasps is on the verge of falling off. Sensing your presence, Idira turns her head towards you and offers you a crooked smile, even as her eyes look right through you. About your abilities.
What are you talking about, Lord Captain?
You are a Psyker. Psykers are only granted the right to live with the Emperor's blessing. Have you ever been to Terra? Number 1.
Look, Lady Theodora couldn't care less if some eggheads measured my brains or not. It's not about the seal on your forehead, get it? It's about what's in your gut, if it's rotten or not. My gut's stronger than the adamantine on this here ship. And my implants are better than the ones they put in you on your Terra. If they weren't, I wouldn't have lived as long as I have.
Number 4.
None of the officers knew the Lord Captain well. Not even Abelard, and she was always closer to him than anyone else. She told me from the off that if I ever listened to anything in the warp about her without her permission, I'd be going out through the airlock. I'm not an idiot, so I never stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Only when I was asked. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that she's gone. Lady von Valancius gave me everything I have. She opened the stars to me and the paths between them. I still think I can hear her voice.
Go.
Of course.
Learn a little bit from her as well, so let's end that, and let's go look at the Coronis Expanse map. Abelard, Wesserain. Wesserian? The events of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader take place in a vast region of space known as the Coronis Expanse. This sector is comprised of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You will find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new, uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the Expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Each star system contains objects and can interact with. Such objects are marked as points of interest. Move your ship to a point of interest, then click LMB on it to initiate the event or open the planet view. That'll be, of course, the left mouse button. We are unidentified void ship. Urak, here's me, I can only assume. Rykad Majoris. The guide, make contact with the Navis Nobilite station. Not explored. Visit Rykiad Philia, the prison planetoid. Machine Spirit Keeper, land on Rykad Manoris. And that's Majoris. Got it. And this is the unidentified void ship. I can't move the mouse at all. So what I'm gonna go and do is come here. And the Heralds of the Navis Nobilate continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Urak 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of an interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilate House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Order the Augur crew to scan the station. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. Contact the station, I will negotiate personally. We are able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. Signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. But the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators heralds ignoring us? I will try contacting them personally. Does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Let's commence docking. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you'll have to look for the esteemed navigators blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor light your path. Choose party members. I think I'll have these 4. Oh, yep. So I guess I can have up to 6. But, well, you know, what can I say? These are my choices so far. I will be taking these 4 with me. All non-usable items are automatically packed into cargo. Press any key. Let's go find myself a new navigator. That's what I'm going for. Oh, what is going on here?
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master? It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed. Confess! What was the old man's last command? What are you planning? Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
You're consigned to oblivion for your transgression against House Orsilio. Immortal Emperor, deliver your servants from peril. Prayers will not help you, servant of the damned. In the name of House Orsilio, I command you to execute the infidels. Well, am I going to get there on time? Probably not. Ooh! Although they take a little while to drop dead. Hardy guys. Oh, hi. And I've just gone and walked into this one. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. Yes, you do. A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own. Two black unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Desist, brother, it was the Emperor's will that brought me to this abode. I'm going to say, Abelard, if you'd be so kind. I'm not even sure what I'm asking him to do, to be honest. Oh, here you go. He's introducing me. Before you stands his lordship, the rogue trader, Bahador von Valentius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronis Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that noble late custom requires a Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the, unusual circumstances on the station, his lordship and the rogue trader is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. Very nice. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremoniously invasion, but just this once. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felic Christoph August, keeper of this place. So you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors. This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Urek 5 is a holy sanctum for the House Orsilio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. I'm looking for the Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, one Henrik van Kalox. Do you know anything about his present location? I'm going to say number 3. The Lord Inquisitor's interrogator. I think I would know if such an important individual decided to pay us a visit. What is happening on the station? Betrayal, a most banal thing in the life of the nobilate, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orsilio. Search the interrogator. Oh, okay. The second keeper of Urek 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felic falls silent for a few moments and then furiously slams the end of his staff on the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. What kind of help are you talking about? I still have questions concerning the situation on the station. Do not care about your mistress, I'm looking for a navigator and you will do. Attack. I still have questions regarding the situation on the station. Idle chat will not save Lady Cassia, but if you need to be sure of something before you can help, so be it. Why did you not respond to the messages? I've already said that Urek 5 is sacrosanct. It is the holy domain of the Navis Nobilate, and it is forbidden for commoners from the world below. We had hoped to solve the crisis on our own, but when the situation spiraled out of control, we could not establish contact because the traitors had disabled our equipment. Tell me about your mistress. Regretfully, I am not allowed to discuss my mistress, whether with her retinue or the outsiders. She will tell you about herself personally if she feels like it. That is, assuming she survives. I am begging you not to waste any more of our precious time, for it is running out. What makes you think she is still alive? You may not believe me, but Lady Cassia is capable of incredible things. Not even the traitor Theobald can easily harness her power. Trust me, I should know. Everything happened too quickly. There were dozens of reports of accidents, victims, and failing systems. But the only precious thing aboard this station is Lady Cassia's life. Everything else is futile and can be easily replenished. What kind of help are you talking about? I wouldn't ask you such a favor under different circumstances, and yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the Mistress's chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Auxilio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the Mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient and sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priest ceaselessly performed the rites of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. How do I power an elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. If it is so simple, why don't you do it yourself? Path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They were not negotiating and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis Nobilate or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Ascendant, rescue mistress, but return our crowd house to sign a contract with my Praetorate. I'm going to say number 5. So be it. Hurry, the mistress's safety is all that matters, but should you fail, our arrangement is finished. End dialogue. Alright! I've got a house of navigators to help me out. Map. Loot. And Felic Auxilio. And return to the void ship. We don't want to return to the void ship. Yeah, I'm going to go get loot, however.
Follow my lead.
A multi-key. Nice.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treaties on Tactica Imperialis. And when
Doubt is for the weak.
I've forgotten half the buttons. Well, hey, that selects everybody. The elevator's power is out. That is blocked. Got defender. Okay, I'm game. How do I get down?
It's about time.
That returns me to my void ship, which I don't want to do.
White. Bright, pure color.
Corpses were mauled by
And
a
it's all
force
riddled with
far beyond
horrible
mortal
veins that carry the
capability.
poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying?
If the witch is talking about the enemies of humanity
Has a
who
force in
set
the forest
upon this abode
forces.
of noble navigators, then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
Athletics, jump over.
Excellence.
Right
matters.
then. The Space Marine 2 stream is still going to be on every Friday. I'm still trying to figure out a few of the fun ins and outs, we could say.
Something of interest.
There's a trap up
Duty
ahead.
prevails. The Emperor favors me today.
Okay,
A new challenge for me?
let's keep going forward. Got some goods. The trophies were packed as cargo. Oh, wow, if you put it that way. Guard, defender. I'm gonna come back this way. Can I get through here? I think I can. Excuse me, folks. What? We're not so much to defile House Orsilio. What? Apologies, folks. Had to sneeze.
Submit, and you'll die quickly.
Well, if you put it that way. Speed up animations in combat. Okay. Yes, as I went and put... what am I doing? I'm arranging people. This is me, so I want to be fairly far forward. Let's put me there. Crowd kill. You do an additional +3 damage for each enemy in the affected area, of course. You can come here. You can come here. What do we have? While at full wounds, the soldier has +10. Nice. And you can come here. Thank you. Yes, so my live streams now, once they're finished, they're going to disappear. But the episodes are going to be uploaded to the channel over... in fact, you can go forward. Over the week, basically. And you can go forward, and you can go forward. So, for instance, the yesterday's stream is in 4 parts, and part 1 came out yesterday as soon as the stream finished, and part 2, I think, is out in about 24 hours, I guess. Let's go start battle.
Onward! I will endure.
He just...
Break their morale.
Oh, yeah, no, I did get hit,
Follow my lead.
but they definitely just shot themselves. Argenta. Burst fire. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to shoot. What are our chances? 48. We've got a 68. We've got an 80. That'll do.
I'll do it. Each strike is a prayer.
Yeah, he did. Ferocious Recital. Minister grants 3 momentum for each enemy that is even a 5-star radius. Run and gun. The soldier gains +4 MP and their next attack costs -1 MP less and does not count towards the attack upper limit. Immediately removes the winded effect. Okay, yeah, no, that's good.
My faith strengthens me.
Oh, guard Medicae. He needs to die.
Pain and duty go hand in hand. Weapon at the ready. Stay vigilant. Follow my lead.
Oh. Gets the second
Follow
go,
my
it seems. And then he gets another go. What's going on here? Idra. So I can increase the target's dodge and parry by 10% until the end of combat. Let's stick that on you.
Is.
Give you forewarning. With all exploits from the target. The operative targets one enemy within 10 cells. From the operative, that target immediately gains +2 exploits. One creature within a 12-cell radius. Chains up to... You know what yet? Let's... Oh, not close enough? Not close enough. Okay. I could get to there. When's this guy going? He goes next. That's not jolly very good. Let's see if we can...
Was that you?
He's not going next anymore. I'll tell you that much. This guy is, though, a guard defender at the back.
Weather the storm!
Oh. Oh, how dare he. Can I want Abelard to go first. Can we not make that happen? Ah, is that what the guard commander's doing? Guard commander needs to die. I mean, can my guys run through each other? I'm not quite sure if this is going to block Abelard if I stick myself there. Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. Let's... Chances of hitting anybody are ridiculously low. At all costs, charge. Target is too far. Well, that's a shame. Let's stick on some endurance. And let's just attempt to shoot this guy. Has he got any better? No. Oh, but he could die.
Too easy.
Ah, accuracy of a blind man. Okay, cool. We can go through our own people.
Indeed.
Oh, yep, of course. Let's put that on. And then let's charge the Medicae.
I will do my duty.
And then let's finish off the
Victory is
Medicae.
reduced to dust.
Alright, so no one's getting any more healing. I'll grant you that much. Brace for impact. For each archetype taken by the Navy officer.
At your beck and call.
Brace for impact. I don't think that's done too much. But, he's kind of standing out in the open right now,
Just
so...
a minor setback.
Ah, yeah, double 0 damage. And a dodge.
I must not falter.
I've suffered worse.
Yeah, 0 damages all round. Love it. Let's... Gains +4 movement points. Where can I get to with +4 movement points? 1, 2, 3. I mean, I can get to there. That kind of leaves me flanked by these guys. And of course, the squad commander, but... yeah, do you know what? Let's just keep shooting. 37. He's probably even less yet. 16.
As the Emperor commands, I act. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Bada bing, bada dead.
Break their morale! My faith strengthens me!
Oh, he gives him an extra go. Got it. A dodge.
Weapon at the ready!
He blindly fires into nothing. Let's have her come up. I know exactly what you mean, except it's not a Tuesday, but hey, why not? Just take out that medic. Okay. Oh, everyone's a little bit out of range, except for goodbye guard.
On it.
She screamed at him. He died of shame.
Moving out! I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Ouch. Ah, yes, of course, that's my momentum bar. going to... If I said come to there and said charge, they're all going to be out of range, aren't they? Yes, they are. They've all decided to just stay too damn far away from me.
Forge ahead!
Let's stay partly covered from, well, that guy, I suppose. When a single shot or single target melee attack applies the following effects. Enemy target, the target becomes marked. The ally who kills the marked target gains an additional turn after the current one. Let's do that. Let's mark. 2% chance. He's out of range. Okay, I could end up marking a desk at this rate.
Who even taught you to fight like this?
I may have just marked my own person. Is he marked? Exploit contempt. I don't think so. I think I was actually supposed to hit someone for that to work.
A tactically sound approach.
I know. Use abilities. I'm trying to learn them. Let's charge at this guy. And let's get some endurance back up on the go.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, I got some toughness on me. I don't mind that. Right, let's move forward. Let's try
Faith without deeds is worthless.
some run and gun. Get me a bit further forward. I'm going to bring around to here. And what have we got for shooting? 23, 23, 65.
I'll do it.
Go for that one. Please don't shoot my own dude in the back. Oh, I miss. But that didn't count towards my goes. Let's have
As the
another go.
Emperor commands, I act.
Boom. Explosive round in the chest. He did take it like a champ, I must say. And each enemy that is even in a 5-star radius on the sister battle was hit by her this turn. If this battle hits a demon or chaos cultist, the additional amount of momentum doubles. Okay, I don't need to worry. Don't really think I need that. Ooh,
Follow my lead.
dodged away. Cheeky.
What is ringing?
That's all okay. Ah, the pistol ability is just so sad. Veil, not veil. Analyze enemies.
But of course.
Moves and gains +2 exploits. Remind me, what does exploit do? Permanent. At the start of each turn, the operative inflicts 1 stack. If the operative hits a target with an exploit stack, the attack deals more damage. Okay, that is not cover. And oh, I think it's just time to... Oh man, no one's in range. Removes all exploits from the target, decreasing the target's dodge. Dodge and parry until the end of combat. He's already got that on him, hasn't he? Yeah, so I'm going to leave that on him. I don't know if it can only be on one person. Quite sure. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything with the Psyker now, so we'll just leave it at that, to be honest.
I've suffered worse.
Momentum.
Why are they always just out of range? I need to increase my movement range is what I need. Come to there. And let's attempt to shoot this guy. 24% chance.
You could do worse, but not by much.
How did I shoot my own
Already
guy? I suppose I could charge just for the added range, but we're gonna we're just gonna leave it at that, to be honest. Come and kill the commander.
I took care of this one.
Yes, I did. I should have done that the other way around because I could have ran at him.
It will be done.
That was horribly done. I will happily admit that one. Let's end the turn there.
Just a minor setback.
And no biggie. Can I hit this dude? 23% chance. Show me some love. Well, what's this again? Oh yeah, goes a little bit crazy.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Now you what? What did we have? Disarming attack and disarming attack for my second weapon. Have you move up. No one's going to be in range.
Anything else?
Let's apply a debuff.
Will do.
Let's exploit all your weaknesses. And let's forewarn this guy.
Was that you? Or
And we'll end our turn there.
Death to the heretics!
How dare they? Go down or no, I'll stay up.
All too easy.
Only a 40% chance.
Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
Yeah, he did. If only I could jump. How awesome would that be? I don't even have a ranged weapon, so I'm just gonna stick him in cover. Ow. And I didn't even turn on toughness.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Gains the ability to make a number of extra attacks. See if any of them can hit. No. Attack 2.
Doubt is for the weak.
No. I mean, I'm only on a 26% chance, so I'm not expecting much. Oh, and I think I took out cover.
I refuse. I'll do it.
Can't shoot the cover. And I missed again.
That is not the Emperor's will.
Do you not? No, I'm just gonna keep you where you are. End your turn. Can I finally get this person in?
no can do.
Nope.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
Let's just end the turn. Let's just get this over with. He is shooting me through a pillar. He is good.
Rejoice in battle! I will not.
No line of sight. Right, now let's go and fry this dude's brain.
What is this foreboding?
Brain officially fried. Let's have all of that.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Collection sculptor and chronicler Zacchaeus Vernon the Magnificent. Ooh la la. Oh, guard Medicae, what you got for me? Pistol and some armor. Little bits and bobs. Pistols. I'll grab some goods. I'm learning, bro. I'm learning. Oh, wow. Mutated flesh sample. How very nice. How very nice indeed. Any more goods? Oh, plenty.
Pay attention.
I think we just found a secret.
Victory awaits!
Okay, there are apparently goods in this wall somewhere.
The Whispers told me how.
Souls took their own lives by slicing their guts wide open. Okay then. Lovely.
Should I divine our next step?
Something did just come up there. Oh, intercepted conversation between security officers. What else we got goods? Open the door.
Would you look at that?
Down the trap.
I better myself through my service.
Pontius ciphers Glacius on the training of worthy servants at the court of the Navis Nobilite. Interesting. Interesting indeed. And over in this corner we have some goods. Data crypt. Alright, so then through the door. Navigate a flesh sample.
The crew continues to mourn Lady Theodora. I fear it may affect the performance of their duties in service of the Lord Captain.
In his service, will they find strength and fortitude?
Noble silk gloves. Oh, very nice. Where have I ended up? Not entirely sure. Oh, I moved all this off that dude. Got it. Got it. Right, let's have a look at my inventory because I've collected quite a few little bits and bobs. Black chest plate. Yep, we've got loads of those. Fair enough. Yes, but this promotion will transfer the entire squad to the child's personal guard by the God Emperor. Well, you are a strapping lad, but you probably will make it for a cycle or three. There's one down better men than me. Not even disappointed if your brains turn into mush. He was out of the pressurized chamber because some voices told him. God will not have to serve the child for long. He even gave us a little leeway. Unlike that fish-eyed, be quiet, he might hear you. Okay. Change in circumstances demanded your immediate assistance in our mutual cause. Forthwith, upon receiving this letter and performing the necessary preparations of the crew, you are to depart for the Rykad system. One of my acolytes, interrogator Heinrichs van Kalox, operates there at the present time. Upon your arrival in the system, you will, without delay, make contact with him and offer any assistance required of you. After which you will provide him passage to the Burabunda system aboard your ship. On footfall, the interrogator will remove himself from your presence to await further instructions. Okay. Scrappy autogun. Gains +5 bonus to perception. You've got really good perception. You can wear some silk gloves. Oh, we've also got a cloak +5 fellowship for each enemy in a 2-cell radius. Okay, what does fellowship do? Ah, there it is, fellowship. The character's ability to interact with other creatures to receive charm or befriend them. 30, 30, 35. He's my fellowship kind of a guy. And did I grab anything else? The wear against +5 toughness if their intelligence is less than 35. This guy's dumb as an ox. That'll work. And I'm hoping, yep, his sword's a little bit better. Anticipating the questions you may have, I will stress the nature of interrogation. The nature of Interrogator Van Carlux's activities in Rykard Menoris is of no concern to you. If required, Van Carlux himself will disclose the nature of his mission. Yeah, I read that one. And you said the communication one, this one. I almost did at best. Let's go bonkers. How do I get it to stay there? I've forgotten all the buttons. It's been so long since I've played. By that I mean it's been a week. Okay, hey, there you go. Click info. Armenia almost burst our heads because someone forgot to check the catering unit. We haven't let in a single outsider in over 10 years, but Keeper Theobald keeps finding things to fret over. Imagine the shrieking if he finds out Keeper Felek didn't make us inspect the hangar after Lord Winterscale's most recent visit. Throne forbid I tried to steer clear of the squabbles among the Highborn. Some of Keeper Felek's orders make little sense. Like the last time he commanded that we cut off communication with Rykard Menoris for a while. Why would he do that? Looks like you grew tired of Winterscale Scion's visits. It's always a pleasure to aid Keeper Felek. That's right, if the Highborn have grown tired of each other, let them deal with it. They do look glorious, but I know what you mean. But then, you know, hey, Edna's not here, and although, you know, we are absolutely fantastic, we are no heroes, so we should be fine.
Follow my lead.
I'm assuming I go through this door. Did I grab everything? If I say again, no, there's something over here, apparently. But... what do we got? It's in the wall. Ah, found it. Goods. There you go, I picked up some... trophies. And I just want to double check. If I go to... Hang on. I'll do. Before we burst through this door, let's have a quick check on options, controls, highlight objects, tab. That's what I thought it was. It didn't really seem to be working too well. All right, let's jump through this door, and just so, of course it is. Mechanical lock, there must be a way to unlock it from somewhere else. Why, of course. Does the map give us any clues? No, it does not.
I won't tolerate weakness.
No. Oh. Not clearing this in any leaps and bounds. What have we got over here? Full of treaties by the most distinguished of scholars. Came from that direction. I feel like it should be down here. I feel like this is what they were guarding. And that's a door that... Ah! Got a door I can open here. Demolition, 100%. Oof.
Duty prevails.
Before we burst through this door, I'd just like to mention our sponsor.
Do you see that?
Do I see that? Do I see what?
The Emperor favors me today.
Goods. Oh, we just basically come round in a corner. Fair enough. Hi, guys. You hear the screams. Move. Sir, are you alright? We can't hear anything. Anybody else sensing heresy? Now I see you are in league with them. Is this an insurrection? Yes, indeed. Death to the traitors. This scene was brought to you by Skulls for the Skull Throne and Blood for the Blood God. Hi, my friends. I know you are all traitors. Traitors of you. They told me. They whispered, hey, who are you? Hi. Oh. He just died. A few free goods. Data crypt. Pistol. Oh, so many doors to open. What could we possibly find behind them? Oh, what was that? Research notes. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growth so we could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis Nobilite. Just as we thought, Navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp. The God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. Let's ready the organ extraction equipment. Sounds lovely. Info? Adamantine dust and black water. This was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. God Emperor be praised, I am lucky to still have my head on my shoulders after this reckless experiment. Nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even the macerator can handle its temper, so we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All of the data related to the experiment were recorded to data crypt K040H. I will get back to them later once I am done with experiment K410K. Have I mentioned that the chunk of meteorite found by Keeper Felix subjects is completely useless? Although, its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child. Okay. I've got OK, and I've got KO. I don't think I've got OH. Interesting. I mean, technically it's easier to blow them up, but I can only blow so many things up, you know?
Through my service.
It's about time.
I've got 5 keys, so let's try that.
I rise to the
98% chance. Yes, you did. Pick up a whole bunch of goods. Ooh. That one looked pretty. There was a rifle in there. A long lass, two-handed range weapon, light. Range 18, maximum 36, max ammo 10. How does that compare to what you're carrying? Much better range, better damage. Let's go and put that as your secondary.
A new challenge for me.
What is going on in here? Where's the child? Is she safe? For some reason, the archenemy's twisted influence has found its way into the station. Okay. Hurts so much, the pain in my chest. Uwe has a name. Let's try speaking to them. He's had his tongue cut off. Okay. Where's the child?
Victory awaits!
Are they safe? Can I close this door again? I don't want to leave it open behind me. Sniper rifle to the Psyker. Maybe, but I just feel with the increased ballistic skill that Argenta can make much better use of it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it with her for now. Dum 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 dum. Awaken the cogitator spirit. The button switch and the levers are ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. The cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flickers. The cogitator inside emits creaks and groans, and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the cogitator's system. Request data. The vid screen. Bellic Orselio, location main hall. Theobald Orselio, location upper chambers. Calomira Orselio, deceased. Alexius Orselio, lower levels, deceased. Erasmus Estevan Orselio, deceased. The child, location upper chambers, biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temperature, stress levels exceeds the permissible limit, status unknown error. Common procedures advise attention, upper chambers inaccessible, error, the control rod is not present. The rod has been misplaced, immediately contact the station keeper or the Navis Laboratorum custodian. Examine the log. Partially corrupted, but you still manage to access the residual logs for examination. I hear a voice. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower levels. Chambers A to D are unpowered. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Requesting back. Abruptly ends. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winterscale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. A rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor, you hear me? Anyone. If you are in doubt, shoot to kill. The following Vox recordings are too badly distorted to make out even a single word. Date classified. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. The negotiations with the Winterscales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainers resistant to the child's powers. Data expunged. Okay. Identity confirmed. Regent Aronto Orselio. Date of visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Date of departure classified. Security file and life support logs. Damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning. Living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning. Unable to access the station's docking system. Warning. Energy regulation system unknown error. The station will transfer over to emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Current access level senior security. Tech use. Let's use tech. You easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the sacred machine. Has been wiped. You find traces of the purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, but a list of the most recent commands having been embedded in the machine spirit's consciousness now flits across the screen in a single creeping line. Child delete, pick flow disable, access code, annul station controls, delete, activate shuttle, self-destruct, purge command log. Okay. So while longer yields us a reviving excerpt from the guard captain's report mentioning that the security system had recently been reconfigured without his knowledge. His comment reads, "Only the Keeper of the station have access to the life support systems. But Keeper Theobald had not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that, bum bum bum, the guy we met in the hallway is trying to kill everybody?" The vid screen blinks and the mechanisms in the machine's core emit a quiet hum. Switch to main chamber controls. Open all doors on the level. Goes dark as the machine spirits have fled the mechanical casket, but your assumption is incorrect, as it fills with static just a few moments later. You can barely make out an inscription amidst the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Warning, data corruption, processing, error. Something is required. Oh dear lord. 3. System rebels and keeps resetting your commands according to data. The compartment you're trying to open is depressurized. 5. Door has already been opened. 4. Protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. 1. This door has already been opened. 2. Has already been opened. 6. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh. I think I opened the right door. That's what I did. Uh, 7. Thank you. And despite the compliance of the machine spirits, one thing is certain: the problem does not lie in the cogitator's mechanisms. Turn to the list of available commands, step away from the cogitator, and dialogue. I know I'm probably going to have to come back here just to,
None shall stand in my way.
just to probably turn the elevator on, and I understand that, but I have a feeling I don't quite want to just yet. Oh, hello.
The premonition runs true.
Traces stretched to the side opposite the entrance. Goods. Biogel, black water, a hissing, foul-smelling liquid. We'll take all of it. Dye crystal, flesh sample. Ah, KO4OH. Can I actually do anything with these? Info. No, they're just blank for the moment. The caustic stench reagent. See as your nostrils and broken glass crunches underfoot. Somebody wanted to ransack the library. Yeah, sure. Let's...
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Lady Cassia's Medicae. Transducer. Remake control rod. Data corrupt. Catalyst flask. Reagent flask. Tissue flask. Goods. More servants have been influenced by the Immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We discovered that corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from Winterscale's dynasty. I strongly recommend finding and grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you will not like having to tend to the burns for the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more. Basic. Oh, and one more thing. Detect Priest's Blessed Data Crypt H410K for the calculated number of chronoturns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while wearing for the reaction to start. The data crypt H40KO malfunctioned over the course of our research. I should remind the Technomats to deliver the sacred mechanism into Magos Dioctios's capable hands. Info. Let's read the rest. Oh, that is it. We have some adamantium. We have some goods somewhere, but I'm not quite sure. Ah, there's a book. Laboratory journal. Test subjects exhibit signs of acute stress. The majority perished of blood loss within the day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretions, tears, and the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connective tissue of its internal environment. Individuals with the greatest resistance to the Sacred Child's resonance died several chronoturns later. Extensive wounds in the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestines. The subject's final shouts exhibited concerns over abominable tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their own internal organs. The subject died within an hour of entering the laboratory adjacent to the child's chambers. Most had their tongues bitten off or their jaws badly dislocated. Some test subjects lacked the physical strength to separate it from the rest of the skull. Cause of death: severe head injuries caused by impacting the walls or the floor. A paralyzed patient who lost the ability to speak due to the shock caused by the manufactorum accident. Male. A test subject noted a tingling sensation in the deteriorated tissue. A lengthy conversation produced servants lack of a tongue. Offspring of Lord P. Orsilio. Pronounced unfit for studying the high art of navigation owing to the mutation of tissues required for installation of the obligatory augmentations that mirror one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind. Female. The test subjects mirrored the child's actions for 3 days. The 4th day, the child became upset after hearing the news about the untimely demise of Amos Cantarelli, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what we're trying to solve. They all just lost their minds. Please don't kill me. Tissue flask. Ah, okay. Close. Data crypt connector. Okay, close. Catalyst flask. Okay, close. And reagent flask. We don't have any reagents. Transducer. We have a few things to put in it. Okay, but the problem is we don't have any reagents. And we did miss picking up one thing back here. Oh, we've missed up. No. Data crypt connector, data crypt connector. Loot. Ah, damn it. I missed picking up one thing, it seems. Go for a quick run.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Got any reagents on you? Nope, we got some goggles. Grants WP bonus law warp. Unfortunately, that's not quite what I was hoping for. No, it's alright, bro. I'll figure it out. I think I've read the answer through the course of doing all this. Let's pop back down into here. And if we research notes, just as we thought, no, we could possibly navigate. So it'll probably be the navigator flesh sample I'm going to go for. Current opportunity to shield some people against corruption, but let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. Adamantine dust and black water. This was the worst idea that prevented my mind. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even the macerator can handle its temper. Complex compound is informed. All the data related to the experiment was recorded in data crypt KO4OH. I will get back to them later once I'm done with OK. So hang on, so what are our things? We've got Psi Crystal, Adamantine, and Meteorite Chunk. Crumpled sheet of paper with drawing of a tall woman and a dark-eyed monster painted with fresh blood. Let's go back to those chunk of meteorite found by the Keeper's phallic subject is completely useless, although its shining granules could be used. Okay, so I'm going to go for not the meteorite chunk. Purified sample from the ocean world. Biogel or unidentified acid. I believe it was don't use acid under any... We discovered that the corrupt flesh of the mutated relaxed most unusually to the crystals we purchased from Windscale Dynasty, grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you will not have to tend to the burns for the next dozen or so turns in a row. And one more thing, the tech priest blessed data is for the calculated number of chrono turns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. I should remind the technomats to deliver the sacred mechanism to measure Deoctius's capable hands. Part 12, this is part 13. Okay. What have we got? We've got for the transducer. Oh, I want to say. If I fail this, do I? All right, let's just.
Halt! I noticed something.
What did we notice? Crystal dust. Tissue flask. Data crypt connector. I'll be back for you. Catalyst flask. Okay, then that's... Wait, does this sound right? So I definitely want the Navigator's Flesh. This one very much said don't use acid under any circumstances. So don't use the acid. The other one said adamantine and black water is a horrible, horrible idea. So I'm going to go for it being the biogel. Which... Biogel. Yeah, catch you when you get back. Reagent flask is in there. Tissue flask is in there. Catalyst flask is in there. And so, out of all of these documents... Haven't recorded. Once I'm done with experiment. Best the data crypt for the calculated number of chrono turns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. I'm gonna go for OK. KO. Okay. Okay, I blew it up. That is unfortunately not the result you want to be using. Time past 10 minutes. The elevator control rod can be rebuilt in the laboratory using the blood. Okay, very nice. We've got the elevator control rod. We unfortunately blew up our machine. Is a bit of a shame. Not quite sure why. I mean, it said don't use black water and adamantium. It said the meteor chunk is useless. I think I had the right flesh. I obviously, was obviously missing a few other things.
A new challenge for me?
But never mind. We've had a look at that. Right, let's go and turn on that elevator controls. Undoubtedly, I do have to. Excuse me, good machine. Awaken the cogitator. Main elevator controls. Activate the elevator. 5, step away.
It's about time. Excellence matters.
Things are getting dark. Looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided, his wounds are tightly bandaged, and there is some healthy color under the scales on his cheeks. You dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. Drives her nails deep into her shoulder, then she starts mumbling. The crossroads. There are 2 paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks. So poor and flimsy, they fall at the slightest touch. One hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Who is who? Marispas are giggling nastily. They will not speak, the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the masks is your concern. Paths. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of treachery you like the most. Thank you, everything is clear now. Get Felix out of the corner of her eye. Problems without your sorcery, Psyker. Looks at you expectantly. I have many questions about what happened on this station. There was a child mentioned in the documents and reports found on the station. Zarman shakes his head disapprovingly. The child is what the station's servants called Lady Cassia. The commoners' dirty mouths must not sully her name by uttering it. You see, it is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are still able to speak. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dared to raise their hand against the scions of a noble bloodline? I will not trust you, because I know you messed this stuff up. He squares his shoulder and gestures to his guards. I was hoping to find an ally in you, but now you are merely delaying the sorrowful end of your story. Prepare to die.
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
To the death!
What have we got? We've got 2 up here. We've got 1 on the left. 6, 7. Okay. So in that case... goes next, then I get to go. Stick her there. And pretty much who doesn't get to go before me? This guy, and that guy. Okay. So those 2 and him. So that safe side's probably the safer side. That being the case, Abelard can come... right, yes, can't move within 1 square. You can actually stay where you are then. Let's start the battle. He's after her. 26 health on Felix bodyguards. Ooh. Yeah, they are pretty nasty, huh?
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Oh, so happy I dodged that. I wasn't expecting that to go through him.
I'll do it.
Let's do that just because it should give me another attack. 56, 56, 56, 56, but then a chance of going straight through. 51. Oh, he has quite a lot of health. Oh, a miss. Terrible. Right, let's go and end that turn. He is beautifully
Stop mocking me.
Follow my lead.
gonna get shot for 20 damage.
Can I
Okay,
fall back now?
this could hurt. Oh, beautiful. Shot his own person.
But of course.
For warning on yourself. That will definitely come next, but we've got another point we can use. Target when enemy within 10 cells of the operative, that target immediately gains +2 exploits. Going to expose weakness, but then let's zap a couple of lovely innocent people.
Will do.
Have a bit of lightning in your face. That'll work out very nicely.
Break their morale.
Oh, don't like it, don't like it.
Follow my lead.
You've got a shotgun. Let us
Follow my lead.
come to there.
I will do my duty.
Let's strike him for 1.
Indeed.
Let's
It will
come
be
up
done.
here and strike him for a second attack. One round, the Navy officer and their allies in a 3-star radius get 2 deflection. I don't think anyone's in a 3-star radius. Okay, there's a pillar there. Oh, I've lost all my movement. Why did I go and do that? That's very strange. Quite alright, let's... Target is too close. Interesting. Can't get through the target. Can't really get through the target. Target is too far away.
Suits my purposes.
Let's go and do that. %50 chance of hitting him.
Not a problem for me. Nothing I can't watch and learn.
Beautiful shot. And I guess I'll just stand there and look pretty.
Strengthens me.
Ouch.
Weather the storm. Stop it, Jeffrey, brother!
Oh.
I must not falter.
Alec has almost been killed, mostly by his own people. What a dodge. Full-blown moved out of the way.
Doubt is for the weak.
Nice. Take that gloriously.
This is unacceptable.
Oh, that takes 3 pips. Sorry, can't do that. Yeah, we'll have to leave that there. We do have Felix, which is really going to hurt me. Unfortunately. And fully healthy Felix bodyguard, which is going to hurt even more.
Why did I not foresee this?
Ooh, that hurt a lot. And let us... Let's
On it.
forewarn her. Yeah, I failed that puzzle. I blew it up. And then I declared this guy to be a traitor, because we all know deep in our hearts that's exactly what he is. So we are going to... Who comes after me? That guy and then that guy. Okay, well then they have to die. Obviously not going to hit both of them. I could hit both of these, but that doesn't have them dying. If I ran to... Oh, it's a tough choice. If I ran to there... Could I still psychobabble him in the face? Yes, I could. Let's expose his weakness first.
the future on the battlefield.
And then let's psychobabble him in the face.
Was that you? Be gone.
Boom. Right. So he won't get to shoot at me. That's good. I could still end up being very badly hurt. Oh, what a miss. What a miss. Let's have... A few people get to go before you. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? I'm going to bring my dude to here, I think.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
And we'll attempt to chop him down.
It will be done.
We'll gain some toughness. And then we're... Can we... Yeah, let's run and hit this guy.
Victory is imminent.
And start chopping people. Let's just gain some toughness, because I've left you out in the middle of nowhere. I'm also looking pretty good. What I'm going to do... Where's that guy? Ah, he's a bit far away. Let's bring you there and chop him in the face.
You didn't stand a chance!
He's dead. Of course, yeah, that guy would have been too far away, even if I'd gotten closer. Let's gain toughness. Warp Curse Unleashed. All incoming warp damage is increased. The start of the turn, the enemy closest to them also becomes cursed. Ah, that's okay. There shouldn't be any more warp damage. And... Oh, but then, can I actually come this way? Not quite. I'll leave you there, slightly in cover. Oh!
Onward!
Beautiful dodge.
Whispers called to
me. Not so beautiful dodge. If I told you to shoot this guy square in the face, what would you say to me? You'd say a 30% chance. Okay, if I told you to run around here and then shoot this guy square in the face,
by faith.
I'll take those numbers. Oh, missed on a 74% chance. Let's have another go, please. Well, hang on, what? No, I'm further off that than I thought. Oh.
Eradicated.
Okay, 46% chance will do it. Sure, I'm willing to hear what I would have had as a reward. So now with those guys all mostly dead, this guy at the back that's going to hurt me. Please don't kill Dira. Okay, I can take those random shots. That doesn't bother me. Let us...
Not the Scryer's job.
Oh, no line of sight. You've already got it. I've... No, wait, you haven't got it. You have it. And then let's go and... times exploits on this guy.
Of course.
Minus 10 plus exploits removed times 4%. Dodge, parry, and armor. No, I don't want that. Let's go and scream at him.
Anything else? Farewell.
He did. That'll be the end of your turn. Come here and chop
At
this
your
guy.
beck and call. One fewer target.
That'll be your turn. Let's come there and then charge into this guy's face. And then let's finish him off.
Nothing of value has been lost.
And they are all dead. Just. And I just managed to not lose a single person. Yeah, I think I've already read that a lot. What did we get from this guy? Keeper's control rod. Control rod. Oh, interesting. Staff of House Orsilio. We've got Deadshot Stub Revolver, a shotgun, tactical goggles. So we got a few little bits and bobs. Let's finish looting everybody else. That looks like everybody. Oh no, I did get a couple of fresh injury. If not removed with a medikit, it will turn into an old injury. Too many injuries reduce the character's resolve and cause traumas. Visit the void ship or use medikit to remove the injury. I think it'll be okay.
Follow my lead.
Immunities from toxin damage. So yeah, pretty nothing. Yeah. Could be very useful in the right situation. Well, this looks like a fun thing. What a painting! The pale figure with the naturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are formed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from her scarlet misted eyes. Her spinny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament. When your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. Stop being so loud. As the otherworldly creature's gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror. Flashes of past warped nightmares reemerge from the shadows of your memory and paralyze your will. You gasp for air in terror, drowning under a crashing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn on your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in so much pain? Do these feelings even belong to you? Emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Ow, 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 as if my little pals weren't bad enough. Now this one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her. Heresy! Argenta looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head, and her white hair veils her face. I'm gonna go for number 4. Calm yourself. He wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both a sob and the howl of a small wounded animal. What is happening? Was someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you, who are you? Pardon my manners, Bahadur. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for our house. What is this? I feel faint. Theobald Orselio, the heavy-set old man who has been kneeling nearby, erupts into low sobs. His eyes, swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room as though a veil of ignorance has just been ripped away from them. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child, throne preserve. Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You, the old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet black veins and his bulging, milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet scent salts your nostrils, as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as an either enemy or ally. I'm warning you. One wrong move will bring the wrath of House Orselio down upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the Whispers shriek like crazy. He might just open that eye of his. Threatening the head of the dynasty is a grave offense. Esteemed whoever you are, Abelard places a hand on his weapon. Persuasion. I'll grant that you do not look like pirates who have come coveting the riches of of a wrecked station, or like scoundrels in Felic's service. So who are you? Abelard, introduce us. His Lordship Roadtrager Bajada von Valencius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronus Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, extends his greetings. I'm going to do that as often as possible. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy. How interesting. Your kind always makes an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful. And so House Orselio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today. You decide. What is the curse that has taken hold of everyone in this room? Curse, you do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. And if the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. Child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone, for she is the heir of House Orselio. And they call me Dangerous Motherway Witchcraft. What service do you ask of me? Save the sacred child, take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. A bluish rivulet trickles down the old man's chin, and he wipes the mutated blood briskly away with his sleeve. You glimpse strange burns covering his flesh under his clothing. The slightest movement must be causing him unbearable pain. Save the child and deliver her safely to Regent Aronto, acting head of House Orselio in the Coronus Expanse. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Argento looks at Cassia, and a painful furrow appears on her brow. Such a fragile thing with such a heavy burden upon her soldiers. I want to know what happened between you and Felic. Felic is my wayward student. He came to Urac 5 as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and trusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss, to pervert the centuries-long traditions of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of the greatest of our novators, Tisiphone Orselio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy! The renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the novator's throne. I believe I've made my decision, because I have. Please share your thoughts. Attack? No. You shall... Cassia shall come with me. Why not? That is good. The old man nervously licks his lips, but do allow us to say our proper farewells. Theobald coughs up more bluish blood.
Wake up, my mistress.
Here you go.
My sacred child. It is all over now. It is over.
What happened? You. I remember you. Have you come to save us?
Child, please, listen to me very carefully. One last time. You will now embark on a voyage with this lord to rejoin the house and its regent in the Corollas expanse. I will not be able to accompany you on this journey.
No! Not you too! Don't leave me alone in this violet-brown haze! You're coming with me! Your mistress is giving you an order. Do you hear me?
Mistress, I fear this will be your only order that I dare to disobey. I am the keeper of Urak 5, and alas, I have less than a day left in me. Allow me to serve you one last time and honor my final duty to House Orselio. I will remain on the station and destroy the secrets it holds.
Oh, Theobald.
Constable may fail at any moment. I regret that we meet under such circumstances.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before.
Alright, I take back my regrets.
What are you going to do to me?
Number 3.
Do not fear what is to come, child. You are ready to guide any vessel. I know this because I taught you myself. And it is difficult to imagine more worthy company than a rogue trader. But remember, your safety is of paramount importance. Get to the Great Regent and fulfill your destiny.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Urak 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
All who can be saved will be given succor on board my ship.
Accompanying a rogue trader on their travels is an honor for any navigator. Let us go. I can no longer bear the sight of the deathly pale shadows that drape the bodies of the fallen.
Leave the station. Lots of servant, Lady Cassia's defenders. There's just a tiny bit of loot back here. The luxurious feast was left untouched.
None shall stand in my way.
The lower levels. And then time to leave. Oh, she's become part of the squad. Was this not the exit? No, it was not. The exit is there. The Void Ship Bridge. Back we go. Right, so now we have ourselves a navigator and another person for our squad, although I don't know if she will actually come with us on missions or not. I figure that she'd be a very important asset that we'd leave on board the ship, but we'll see how this all goes. Oh yes, a rotating chair, that's what we like. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first... Your head starts beating furiously. Your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Victus is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Without even looking at the Vox Master, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak to the rogue trader, Leave Us. Of course, when you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. Cassia sweeps her passive gaze over Victus, then, lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. What did you wish to speak about? Before I begin the ritual, I wish to look once again into the eyes of the man whose fame is so great it managed to penetrate the impregnable walls of Uruk V long before we ever met. Your illustrious glory made you famous far beyond the bounds of your home system. It truly is you, Bahadur. The person the whole Expanse and the Calixis sector are talking about, and now a rogue trader as well. After a few seconds hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale, then raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position. For that, I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uwe served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Materium and what to serve me for breakfast. Very important. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders. I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I acquire brushes, canvas, and the best paint you have on board, but no red. Tell me more about what the ritual entails. I doubt the uninitiated could understand the mysteries of the navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. Cassia lifts a lock of hair from the back of her neck, revealing gilded implant ports. After that, I use the House Orcelio ritual, which I am loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts, and then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from one system to system. Oh, the light. The guiding thread, so fine it can slip from one grasp at any moment. Cassia unfurls her hand as though dropping something. But you have nothing to worry about. The navigators of House Orcelio never lose their cause. Number 3. That's obviously the part of her sacred ritual which she doesn't want to talk to me about. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me, if you can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. By the looks of it, if you can survive it when it's closed. He was just knocking people off left, right, and center. Oh, someone's coming back for a quick chat, maybe? No? Yes? I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. Okay. Well, we have our Navigator. The Voxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clinking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uwe. The exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whisper of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurrying away. I see violet vortexes lash in an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foaming waters. Armadas drowning in a fog. The path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her. No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler is gone. The Voxmaster recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panoply of her finger emits sparks, and the Voxcaster falls silent. He quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Leave her Are you alright in there? Down at the Vox transmission, the servants in the Sanctus Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain. Their throats roar from the strain, and then sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's rite, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. The Great Rift has opened, it sounds. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Spare me a few moments of your time, please. There are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I want to report on the condition of the station, Urak 5. Had you opted to begin your visit to the Reichad system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representatives of Navis Nobilate brought us precious time. We can either send our forces to disassemble the station and procure technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. Gather any component that may be of use on the ship. Loot everything, from jewelry to the very last manuscript. Or do I not stoop to pillaging? Ooh, tough choice. I'm gonna be noble and I will not stoop to pillaging. As you command, Lord Captain. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are still looking for Engesia Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of an oversight by an experienced tech priest. We're also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not yet located Henrix van Kalox, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for sure he was not at Urak 5, so keep this in mind when making any future plans. Thank you, that will be all for now. Yep. Reichard, Joris, scan required. Yeah, the prison planetoid. New blood, machine spirit keeper, land on Reichard, Monoris, or unidentified vessel. Let's... I'm gonna come scan this planet. Begin scan. $50 experience, no resources. To the worlds of the Expanse. A mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the Blessed Standard template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world, however inhospitable. The Serf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanisms and the extraction of resources needed by the rogue trader. There are no resources. Okay. Profit factor. Rogue trader's warrant of trade and what opportunities and resources it can call upon. Oh wow, yeah. I have so much. Let's go visit a... Oh, hello. There is some commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Sure. Let's see what she's doing. So yep, the timeline has been revealed. Press any key. Oh, I got a little bow.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
I see you are fond of reading.
Oh, this.
Turns out to be a collection of
I
works.
found
by
this
Canadian
fascinating
poet.
read on one of the shelves. And I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
We go for number 1. The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Number 2.
No, it is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
Judgment test succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The natural appearance of navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is unsurprising, then, that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting.
But?
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying? You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Well, apologies for caring.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
I'm beginning to think, Lady Cassie, that the feelings I have for you are far more complicated than common sympathy. You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad, and it's just natural to share them with others. Right, so I'd ask that you mind what you say from now on. It is indeed difficult for me to feel empathy for a mutant. However, the crew's well-being hinges on that of its navigator. We go for number 2.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
I think I'm going to go for number 4. I understand that you are going through. My own life was turned upside down not too long ago.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
I'm gonna go for number 3. No, I'm gonna go for number 4.
Or because my presence offends them. Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
Done. And okay, here we are. Of course, we do have a level to go up. I say, of course, here we are. Where are we? The Void Ship Bridge. Back we go. This effect is called over-penetration. Like a point-blank range with a... just a sigillet gun. If I've gotten that correct. Fancy words. Greetings, Lord Captain. Right. Go ahead and look at that level. It was very straight to the point. I thought I was, you know, not quite going to go straight into that. So we have Endure. What's Reckless Strike? Warrior's next melee attack gains 5 times strength bonus % armor penetration and 2 times strength bonus damage. It ignores 3 times WS bonus percentage of the target's parry. Every enemy who survives an attack enhanced by this ability will attack the warrior in return, including creatures with ranged weapons. Ooh. The warrior marks a target, gaining armor and damage or melee attacks against that target. If the target attacks the warrior during this round, the warrior gains 1 AP once per round. Warrior gains a slash ability with agility bonus minus divided by 2 charges for this round. Slash cannot be used in the same round as charged. With that many charges for this round. Okay. The warrior dashes to an enemy to take dashes to an enemy to the saddle on the enemy's opposite side and makes a melee attack with 50% reduced damage. Can be applied only once for 1 target per round. Okay, so it's like playing checkers, but you can't go backwards. I'm gonna make my character a hammer, and the other guy, no, not Bahada. I forget his name. He's gonna be the tank. Forceful Strike, or the Anvil, as you put it. The warrior gathers all their might for a crushing strike. Their next melee attack pushes the enemy away. The distance of the push is equal to... okay. Warrior screams at their enemies to draw their attention and becomes the priority target of any enemy who fails a willpower resistance. I'm thinking Breakthrough. I don't like this attacks the warrior in return thing. I'm gonna go for Breakthrough. That's it. Next. And for the next thing, I don't want Medicae, I don't want Demolition. Coercion skill value is 40, which is the joint highest. Carouse is, that'll go to Abelard. And Athletics is the highest. Go for some more Athletics. Complete. I'm gonna go back to our brand new Navigator last. Exposed weakness costs 0 AP. Well, that could be good. When the operator triggers an exploit on an enemy, the operator gains +1 damage and 2% armor penetration until the end of combat. Only applies to the first projectile in a burst attack. Exposed weakness also reduces enemies' toughness and willpower. Attacks a target affected by an exploit from a distance. If bonus is 10 or higher, they gain +1 AP and ignore enemies' deflection. The target of analyzed enemies has 2 or more exploits. That target suffers +1 additional exploit. Turn, the enemy with a large number of exploits receives an additional exploit stack. 2 or more enemies are tied for the large number of exploit stacks. One of those enemies is chosen at random. In half cover, their cover efficiency is increased by 15%. This bonus is doubled if the operative has not moved during their turn. Ooh, I quite like that one. Inflict Despair. Exploit and expose weakness. That enemy loses -3 MP and their damage is reduced by 10%. It could well be. It could well be. I like that idea. On their first turn in combat, the operative randomly distributes the same number of exploits as when using analyze enemies among all enemies in a 10-tower radius. Affected by exploit within 5 cells when the operative attacks the operative or their ally, that enemy suffers 1 additional exploit. I can use as a divination psychic power, an ally with a natural luck effect gets it. Combat suffers a -7 + 7 times Psycho's Psi rating percentage penalty. It's just so much. Current party has the same archetype as this character. First archetype ability used in each combat by this character is -1 AP less. What archetype is she? She is an officer. Soldier. She is a warrior. Hang on. 2 archetypes. She is, yes, an operative. Enemies have taken damage from the Psycho at least once, suffer a -20 penalty to all resistance tests against the Psycho until the end of combat. So there's just so much. First archetype ability used in combat by this character costs -1 AP less. Maybe. All allies, including Xenos, in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity's finest. What was humanity's finest? It truly is just so much. Let's probably keep it quite simple. We go for continuous analysis. And we shall put up perception. We are not the highest. We are definitely not the highest in ballistic skill. Weapons skill, willpower. This character's ability to withstand the horrors of the warp. That could be a pretty good shout. This character who exert control over the crowd or interrogate a heretic, it also has increased chance of resisting. Oof. Let's go for willpower. Complete. Oh, Mechanicus would be fun as well. Right, soldier. We will go up. How are we looking on agility? We are killing it. Boys, high agility allows a character to manipulate delicate explosives with finesse or keep their footing when crossing treacherous terrain. Ballistic skills, I'm going to keep as is. Random characters with high perception can pick out a stray bolt or shell casing in between the day. They morass of an under hive or even tower when someone is being deceitful. Strength, willpower. Good. I'm character's initiative, dodge, chance, and reaction. Get a bit more agility. Next, what comes next? Ooh, we get another skill. Controlled shot. Gives a sign that they are about to open fire. The soldier and their allies will automatically dodge the soldier's next attack. Okay, so I can shoot through all my allies. That's interesting. Dashes in the selected direction, spending all their movement points. Does not provide attacks of opportunity. Allows the soldier to dash through allies and enemies, but not through obstacles. The next ranged area attack made by the soldier deals 50 + 10 times ballistic skill bonus, percentage damage, and has an additional 10 + 2 times ballistic skill bonus dodge reduction. The soldier immediately spends all of their AP and MP and gains 30% bonus to cover efficiency. We'll spend AP and MP +1 additional AP. It also resets the cooldown of all other soldiers' abilities. Next burst attack will have its rate of fire doubled, but deal 25% less damage. All shots will follow random trajectories. That has an additional dodge reduction. I'm gonna go for concentrated fire. Complete. Can I respec in this game? Honestly, I have no idea at this point. Quite possibly. And maybe at some point that will be a great thing and I'll want to do it. Warrior max attack. Ah, no, wait. Let's go for Taunting Scream. Hit next. And... not actually my best Medicae. Demolition, not by a long way. Coercion, not quite. Based on toughness. I'm gonna go for Carouse, Fleet, and then our officer. 2 ranks available. First, let's go and get the character ability to interact with other creatures, to deceive, charm, or befriend them. Willpower. Ballistic skill. Toughness is probably not that good. Weapon skill not that good. Perception probably quite high. Let's go Fellowship. And so many abilities. So many. Enemies damaged by the Navigators suffer additional damage from any source of warp damage. By the Navigators suffer the bonus damage stacks for each hit inflicted by the Navigator's stacks effect 5 times. Every even turn, the Navigator gains an additional action point. Every odd turn, the Navigator gains plus 20 perception. Oh, wow. Every enemy the Navigator has in their line of sight has its dodge and hit chance reduced by the Navigator's perception bonus. Done. Next. Focus. Whenever the officer uses an ability on an ally, the ally gains a bonus to their perception and ballistic skill equal to 2 plus the officer's resolve divided by 2. The range of the officer's abilities is increased by plus 3. The range of voice of command is increased by plus 6. To fully push themselves, increasing their characters by plus 10. Whenever an ally uses a heroic act, that ally gains temporary wounds equal to 10% of their maximum wounds plus resolve. Whenever an officer targets an ally with an action, that ally's resolve is increased by plus 1 until the end of the officer's next turn. The officer's resolve is increased by plus 3. Influences how efficiently and for how long characters can fight in battle. Determines the amount of momentum gained at the beginning of each turn or after killing an enemy. Okay. Whenever an ally is affected by an officer's ability or talent, that grants temporary wounds. That ally's armor is increased by 10% for 1 round. What do I have? Now an extra turn with 2 AP and no MP. This ally is under the effect of voice of command and kills an enemy before the end of the officer's turn. The ally gains a 1-time additional momentum. Ability cannot be used on the same ally more than once per round. The officer grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP. During the extra turn, there is no attack limit. And that's the one I just went and put on. Okay. Whenever a heroic act is used in combat by any character, the officer's next attack will cost use voice command or bring it down. For the first time in combat, this ability costs less. Officers' abilities gain a bonus to their weapon skill and will deal 4 more damage on attacks of opportunity until the start of the officer's next turn. I like that. And officers' fell bonus. Officers' fell bonus. So let's go and give more fellowship then, because that's what all of my abilities seem to work off. Sounds like it could be fun. Okay, what's her reputation? Of course she doesn't have one. What's her biography? She is 2 points into dogmatic. Well then, we'll get along like a house on fire, because that's the direction I'm going in as well. And 1 point into dogmatic. I'm also 1 point into heretical and iconoclast, so, you know. Yep, the officer could be a lot of fun. A huge amount of fun. Right, so let's continue and let's get ourselves to that prison ship is where we're going, basically. Sorry to disturb you, flippin' heck. It's pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Wersarian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. They just do not want me to get to this prison ship, do they? Everyone wants a piece of the rogue trader. I mean, all I'm trying to do is go visit some prisoners. Well, don't you gentlemen look all fancy? Yeah, but I want a throne that turns around. The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger, Abelard's voice the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. A young woman standing before Abelard strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain. Not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrila Vent, requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. I'm going to say number 2. Hey, Aldo Gaming, how you doing? I am sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that this step is unwarranted, and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Ooh. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Suaback, standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Wersarian, and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. There's an insurrection in the making aboard my ship, and no one has informed me. Where does the Seneschal come into this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I've always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valencius will find refuge on her ship. You are far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Wersarian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. It has driven the people to the brink. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, in Depot 4, to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection, but when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors of the lower decks. It is home to the clans of general labourers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now, more besides, giving succor to cultists and minions of the arch-enemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind. The problem is not limited to this sector. It is located in one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Master at Arms, the ship's enforcers report to you. Lord Captain, unlike Lieutenant Vent, I respect the chain of command and realize that it is not within my right to challenge my superiors. Tuerbeck bows her head in Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. That being said, while I entirely share Master Wesserian's opinion on the fate of Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Mistress Tuerbeck, I see you have decided to follow the Lieutenant's example after all. Such behavior does you no credit. Abelard, do you wish to respond? Mr. Tuerbeck, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior? Or one where I would overrule their order, or show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard have always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the attitude of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. That you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck, handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. It fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else. That is the sole foundation of order. Number 3. Lord Captain, I swear that Seneschal Wesserian has never granted me any privileges, never once advocated for me, or facilitated my promotions, although he is the man who convinced me to become an officer in the first place. He has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him. And while not all my fellows receive such attention, I know of at least a dozen fine officers whom the Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure that they continue to strive. To prepare new generations of the Dynasty's servants, to instruct them, to separate those with the potential from those who have exhausted, it is my duty as Seneschal. The ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards I have raised. By the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now was my student at one point. I see. Evidently my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I only have myself to blame, I suppose. How did this all start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up to Chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between enforcers and workers to a head. Abelard, what do you have to say for yourself? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins. I am certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decision for myself. Throne preserve you, Lord Captain. Thank you for your support. An enterprise bordering on the sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation which led to your and Seneschal's involvement. I consider it is my duty to go to Depot 4 myself and see to the expedient resolution of this incident. I'm, sensing ambush. But hey, just, spending one of my afternoons hunting some heretics down in the bells of my own ship. Let's go for it. Let us...
Victory awaits.
Go for it. Hey, it's Wessarian. Take that, scum. Look who it is. This is all his fault. All of it. What did they just throw at him? Like some acid, or was it just like a stink bomb? But from his brow in a startlingly human gesture and telling one, a rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I ideally regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this. More to the point. Do I have any nice items to equip? No, it doesn't look like it. Thought I did. Oh, wait, no, notable. The sword's nothing special. Scrappy autogun. Axes, nothing special. Lad's pistol. Yep, we got one of those equipped. Las gun? What have you got? You've got a las pistol. It's got a bit more range, but that's okay. Scrappy auto pistol, las gun. Ripper auto pistol. A bit more armor penetration. It's the same. Auto pistol. Can't be equipped by this character. Dead shot stub revolver. We have any chance to give that to this guy? Yes, we can. That's going to go to there, and then those two are going to swap. Using the beautiful, well-maintained axe. And then, of course, we have a shotgun, which I think I'm actually going to put in the second point. And let's come... Yep, you've got a shotgun already equipped. And... Can I go like dual-wielding swords? I can. I so beautifully can. I don't particularly know if that gets me anything. I have a feeling it doesn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. How does the staff goes up the same? I assume, can you use staff or House of Cilio? Yep, but it's the same staff as you've already got. Got an auto pistol. You should always let the dogs out. Not some weird reference to a song. Armored body glove. The character wearing this armor will dodge 54% of average enemy attacks in this chapter. Uses incoming damage by 5%. Wears an armored body glove. She wears an armored body glove. I assume I'm on medium armor. Yep. Although this guy I want to be on... What's he on? Is he on heavy? Yes, he is. What do we have here? Light armor as well. How does that compare? Dodge 18%. Okay, that's actually better because there's no dodge penalty. Attacks in chapter by minus 10%. So we'll equip that. You can now go with some light armor. Plus 5% chance to hit, plus 3% chance to hit critical. have a little Oculus. Grants WP bonus law. Grants +3 logic. You would probably have some of the best law, but what do you got? You've got logic on. Hang on, where's my logic? You've got a 38. 5, 30, 30, 30. So you're definitely winning that one. Give you these funky goggles then. Although, yes, thankfully we don't get to see them. Having a second ammo for your sword. But does that... Because can you then actually do an attack with each sword in the same round? Or does it kind of stop you? We have some grenades, some other fun stuff. Those device suitable for eliminating flimsy obstacles. And a machine right, yep, cool. Fun stuff, other, and flagship stuff. And everything. Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. Check rabble, we've got some valves, which I have no idea what do. Greetings, your grace. Gonna nick some goods from the lower deck rabble. And the box string of scratched letters runs along the edge, different first names and used surnames. Looks like a generational box. Okay, we ain't going out that door.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Potentially going to be killing some heretics. That's what I'm going to be doing. Nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. Oh no, because usually when you do an attack, you quite often, like, I can't shoot twice with the sister sigilate. So I'm wondering if I'm actually allowed to attack with each weapon in the same round. Sounds of heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avrila Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sewerback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order, now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. Do not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Your Lordship. What's the situation? Go to the site of the conflict with Seneschal, deal with the striking workers. My people lock down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I've come here to lead an investigative unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. This calls for immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. I want to speak to the strikers. Trains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck.
It's about time.
A dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You've taken their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. Oh, someone came forward and bowed. Someone else came forward and bowed. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman, and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have come down to us. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like the one there that the lieutenant won't let pass. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off. But the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who have risen up. A death squad has just arrived. No wonder the folks are lashing out. Awareness. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. What is troubling you? Striking. That's news to us, your lordship. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word, and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole bays for a week at a time. Then we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Pent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feeling towards us. Your lordship, we're no villains here, we're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder, we went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. I'm gonna go for number 2. There was a cultist here. A cultist amulet. What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people, there have been no new faces around. Definitely not, and if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet or whatever it was, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, these boots really were fine, and there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here, we all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. The same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling, "Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith." Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector was just after I'd had my 3rd little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father, who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. What changes do you want? Would you look at this? The Lord Captain himself is asking us, bilge rats, what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old Nan. They'll never let the maggots of the lower decks live without enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of their stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist body, and we'll talk to them. One lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. All because we dared speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands, and we will consider the rest. Go for coercion. Crux casts sight on a woman. Old Nan, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now's no time to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, old Nan. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will, indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great, just fantastic. Lord Captain, we're all agreed. I'm gonna go for number 3. Your Lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. Of course, your Lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned. Oh, and now I'm staring at the ceiling.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
And now I believe it's time for me to leave. Oh. I'm about to have a conversation with Abelard, I think. There's somebody walking somewhere. Thank you. You stand at a distance and address your other companion, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valancius Protectorate? Let's... I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember, Lord Captain, Theodora, do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to her grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard the ship now, and I will not repeat her mistakes. I would be only too willing to trust in my seneschal and not fill my head with such matters. But the situation had spiraled out of your control, Abelard. Give me a reason why I should continue listening to your advice and trusting your judgment. Right now, I don't see any. Yeah, I was kind of hoping an option of, oh, so you three are the ringleaders. Bang, bang, bang. What's gonna come up? But nothing that fun seemed to present itself, so I decided to be the nice guy. Number 1. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valentius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. I was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodorus deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military, So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hangar on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us, the rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Stop living in the past. Lord Captain and Rogue Trader, accept and start living in the new world. The world where Theodore is gone and where you and I have new decisions to make. Prosperity of the Von Valentius Protectorate is just as important to me. There's a comprehensive knowledge of how things are run in the ship. I think in the future I will follow your recommendations. Created, and I trust that the situation is an aberration in the ship's otherwise smooth operation. Working, I see no reason to change them. I've seen plenty of sentiment and hand-wringing in recent days, but very little competence. I have no plans to rely on your judgment or your tried and tested procedures in the future. You died and I won't make the same mistakes. If you want to keep building the future of Valentius Protectorate with me, stop living in the past. Or to accept it and start living in the new world, a world where Theodore is gone, where you and I have new decisions to make. I'm going to go for number 1. Yes, Lord Captain. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. And now, please, let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places.
None shall stand in my way.
Let's go back up to the bridge. Very much. Oh, just trying to get this ship to fly from one place to the next seems like it takes every ounce of willpower a man has. Ooh, and I've gained another level. We are ready for orders, Lord Captain. Let's go back out to the void map. Let's get to where we're going. Let's scan this giant rock. Rycadia Filia, the prison planetoid. I guess we'll take the crew I have available. Although I am actually going to pop out of points of interest detected. And that is my mission to be done. And I'm going to hop out of this because we are going to leave the stream. There, we have come to the end, and this is all we have time for. And so on that, as per always, thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. We will come back next time where I will continue to attempt to figure out what I'm even doing and to move forward. But until next time, as per always,